RC Underground Radio is your go-to podcast for everything RC.
Everything about Kirby's is awesome.
Especially the owner. He's so hot.
I could never find anyone like him on Tinder. For the record, I'm not on Tinder, just so you know.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I was kind of getting worried there.
More of a grinder guy.
Each episode features top-notch guests, industry leaders, and you, the racer.
Do you guys realize how much it costs to be friends with this dude?
So, grab your transmitter, buckle up, and join us on RC Underground Radio.
Say words.
Here are your hosts, Dave Brinkman and TJ Greer.
All right, everybody, welcome again. It's another week of RC Underground Radio. I cannot believe how fast the weeks are going, but that means it's going to be summertime here in Wisconsin, and we're going to start racing outdoors soon. But there's a great outdoor track in Maryland that we're going to talk about tonight, and that's Midshore Raceway. That's up in Denton, Maryland, and we're going to talk to Trey Madigan, the owner and promoter of Midshore. So, Trey, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. I was saying that, like, I just cruising the internet like everybody does, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa! I land on this paved oval with a really nice driver stand and a brand new fresh pavement, and I'm like, what is this? And so I did a little homework. And I found you, and I reached out, and I said, "We have got to talk about this on the racetrack." So, or on the race show. So, again, thanks for coming on. And just let's start it out. I love asking this question: when did you wake up one morning and go, you know what? I think I'm going to build an RC track.
Well, long story short, this is my fourth track.
Okay.
Just kind of made a little track out in my side. Other side of my lot here, and it was all wooded then, and we just kind of sputtered around with them, and then got a few more friends, and then came in a few more friends, and then we got into the 1/10 trucks, and I got probably 6 to 12 every week doing that, and it just grew and grew and grew, and then I built a huge track and did a off-road track. Ran that for, I guess, about 7 years. Kind of died off, and then everything, there was no place to run around here, any kind of where. So I was the first one to really have a track. So that's where everybody just started coming in. And yeah, it just grew and grew, and then it got to be an oval, a dirt oval, and it just got to be too much for one person, which was me, to take care of everything, the track and everything. You know, you always have those people that say they'll help, but when it comes time to do it, it's me standing out there alone.
For sure.
So that got to be a little too much for me. I gave that up, and I guess it went 2 years without me having a track, and then I just said, I gotta have a track. So that's we raced indoors. The 1RC cars, we raced in my garage when they first came out with those midgets.
Okay.
And we had a blast with them. And, you know, that's brought this small oval that I have out was the 1RC cars. That's what the 1/18 scale. And I saw them and I was just like, man, this is great. And it's not too much for one person to take care of a track.
Well, especially the way that you did it. I mean, you got pavement.
Yeah, well, that was, you know, it started out with dirt, and then it's still a little bit of a hassle. And then I tried the asphalt millings, and that just didn't work. So then I said, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. I did the asphalt, which is like no maintenance. You blow it off and you go racing. So,
yeah, for sure. So, I mean, how about the weather there in Maryland? I mean, you know, maybe I should have spent more time in geography class, but like, do you guys get fairly harsh winters, and it will affect that track, or no?
we do get some snow usually. It's not a whole lot usually. We'll probably get maybe 6 to 8 inches a season, maybe here lately anyway. So it doesn't affect the pavement much. had a little bit. We had a little bit of snow this, and when I first went out to the track this year, there was a little bit of a bumps that weren't there before that I've got up. But I was planning on resealing it again this year anyway. So
that was a question I was going to have. Is it still raw pavement, or yes, now you're starting to seal it?
I sealed it the first year, but it wasn't a very good seal job because when I went out, I sealed it. Weather said it was going to be great for 3 days, and it ended up raining 2 days later, which kind of washed that off. And so it's got to be done again, and that's in the plans to be done here probably as soon as I can get a good 4-day week with good weather.
Sure. So now I think you've expanded it, right? So you're obviously running the 1RC cars out there. We'll talk a little bit about what divisions, but I think you expanded it to Losi NASCAR now as well, right?
Yes. Those came out last year, and when they came out, there was a lot of interest in them, and I was interested in them, so I got one, and I did some testing on the track, and they're like perfect. It's like a little Martinsville out there, so it's great.
Yeah, that's cool. And like you said, so I know that, I see it sitting there, no inside wall, no outside wall. Is that the way it is, or do you end up putting up some type of a wall?
No, there is an outside wall.
Okay.
Right now, I just actually 2 days ago put in a inside barrier. I'm still testing the waters on that. So I'd like to put up the same material I used on the outside around the inside, but I don't want it to be a pinball machine where you're bouncing from wall to wall and causing all kinds of wrecks and stuff like that.
Sure. So, okay. So tell me what divisions that you're in. What's big? I know like Eastern Modifieds are usually big out that way, but what divisions are you racing there?
Well, I was racing pretty much all the 1RCs to begin with. And then as soon as it seems like he read my mind, because as soon as I built this track, he started coming out with the asphalt stuff, which I was like, this is perfect, and all those are perfect for this track. So that's what we're aiming to do, is just, use the asphalt group of cars.
Sure. So how about the dimpled tires? Do they hold up? Like how many races can you run with the dimpled style tires, like say on the asphalt late models and now on the touring mods?
Well, we haven't run until this, because last year we didn't really run a whole lot, and they were just coming out with those dimpled tires. So we didn't get a lot of run time on those. As a matter of fact, I still have some of the slicks that they discontinued, but I still have some of those, and everybody can run those as long as they've still got them. So
sure. Yeah, that'll be interesting if they'll hook up more, because it is pavement, and if you'll actually lay rubber out there. That's one thing I'm really interested in, because we run foam, and we actually, it gets tacky as the day goes on. Now, of course, everybody's running some kind of a tire sauce, but I don't know. It just seems like there's more going into the tracks. I'd really be interested.
Well, my
rubber will lay down in your track.
My asphalt late model has the little dimple tires on it, and it's hooked up really well. It's
nice.
I can't believe how well these cars are hooked up on this track.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait. I hope you guys are going to do some video or some live or something. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that.
I'd love to get there someday. Before we came on air, I mentioned to you that my dad and I, we did a similar thing back in the late 70s, early 80s. We had a pavement company come out, and we, built a little paved track in our backyard. Yeah, that track would have been perfect for 1/18 scale, but they didn't have them back then. So we actually ran 12 scale on that track. So
yeah,
that's why I think you're right on base with the Losi cars, because they should be about the same. It looks like that track is about the same size as what we had in our backyard. So it was super cool.
Yeah, when I back in the fall, right, it was after actually we really stopped racing, and I saw that people had them and were questioning me if, when was I going to run them, and if I was going to run them, and they all I said, look, I'll do a test and tune anytime you want to come out and run.
Yeah, that's great. So I believe you've got some big races coming up too, right?
Points races start May 17th is the first one. And then we've got a September 13th, the Venom 250 race for the Losi NASCAR.
Yeah, that was the one that I saw. That looked like that's going to be a big race.
Yeah.
A lot of people out of that area.
Yeah, I'm hoping to. But yeah, and there probably will be a couple more that I throw in there, some bigger races, because I want to do a bigger one for the 1RCs too. So
Right. Oh, that's going to be awesome.
yeah.
So you travel at all? You go to any travel races? Being a one.
I am a 1RC racer, and you know what? There is none around my area at all.
Right.
This is it.
Yeah. It's good and bad, right? Because it's good because you should have everybody come to your track when you have a race. What's tough is, will people totally put their arms around it if there's only one place to go? It can happen. It can definitely happen. Guys will drive for hours. If the racing's good and the track is fun, they'll buy cars and they'll drive for hours. So
yeah, I haven't made my way to, I can't remember what the closest one would be that does the 1RC. I know it's at least 2 hours, if not more. That's doable, though. I don't mind doing that. And that is, I think, Minimus RC.
Okay.
I think that's what that track is. And I've never been there, so.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but yeah, also myself, I have not been there. But yeah, like if you ever travel, I should go down to like Race City. I know it's North Carolina, then a little bit of a drive, a little bit longer than 2 hours, but yeah, well worth the visit. I just got to go, and it was super fun.
I've tried to make 2 of his races, but I couldn't make it work with my schedules.
Sure. Yeah, and that's a good thing, especially if you guys are just I mean, you've been in it now with these cars for a few years, but you go there and it's an education. That's like going to 1RC college.
Yeah.
You go there, you're racing against some of the best that just happen to all be in that area because they're racers, right? It's North Carolina, so they're totally into it. So, and you'll be shocked. I'm not going to name names, but you'll be surprised who comes through the door there from time to time.
I can imagine.
Yep. So
I can imagine. Matt knows a lot of people.
He knows a lot of people. That is for sure. So good guy though. Good guy.
Yeah.
He's coming for my race. A couple weeks away, we got the Foam Oval Nationals that we're going to run here in Wisconsin. It's a charity race, and Matt's nice enough that he's going to fly in for that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, should be fun.
Is your ride as exciting as a soggy sandwich?
Does your wardrobe scream,
I'm not trying?
Turn heads with Carpies, the place for custom wraps, apparel, and all things awesome. Want to look cooler than your neighbor? Want a wrap that makes your car the talk of the town? Want apparel that screams,
I'm not basic?
Carpies has you covered. Carpies, custom wraps, apparel, and more.
Because who wants to be boring?
Visit Carpies. Wrap your world. Wear your swag. Visit Carpies.com today. Introducing Papa Willie's Traction Tonic, the ultimate solution to boost your grip and speed on dirt, carpet, or pavement. Papa Willie's gives you the traction you need to leave the competition in the dust. Just apply and watch your car stick to the ground like never before. No more spinning out, just pure relentless traction. Get Papa Willie's Traction Tonic and put the pedal to the metal. Available online. Visit papawillies.com today. Papa Willie's, where traction meets action.
So yeah, that's cool that you made this commitment. Now I got to ask, do you have friends that have a paving company, or did you say, hey, just look up a paving company and said, come out here, I got a job for you?
It's funny you say that. I had a local guy come out to do my driveway with asphalt millings. When he was here, I said, hey, I may have a project for you. If you have any extra millings, this is how that started with the millings. I said, And I walked him over to the track and I told him, what can you do with this? And he says, yeah, we can do it. We got the equipment. I've got some millings left over. We can do that. So he pretty much didn't charge me anything for what he had, Mm-hmm. So he just came over and did that. That didn't pan out. Okay. But he knew, because afterwards he said, let me know how it goes. And, I'd like to bring the boys out. So, because they were interested in it. So I told him, after he knew, because I contacted him and said it didn't really work out. But I said, listen, if you're doing any pavement jobs in the area and you have some extra pavement, swing by here and do this for me. So we talked about it, and sure enough, it wasn't, I guess it was about 3 months later, there was a driveway he did probably about 2 minutes down my road here, and he had some extra pavement, so extra asphalt. So
I'm curious. What are millings?
Millings are what they grind the old roads up. Okay. When they grind all those asphalt millings, and which it's great usually, but it takes a while to pack it in, and you always have a little bit of the loose stuff on top. Okay. That's what my driveway is. My driveway is basically a paved driveway now, but it's got a little bit of the millings or the rocks on top of it still. Sure. So, but it doesn't work too good for RC cars. Not as racing an oval. So.
Yeah, it's bad enough when you get carpet fiber in them. I couldn't imagine having all kinds of rocks. That would be fun. That'd be fun to clean out. So is this on your home property, or do you have some separate property? Okay.
No, it is on the other side of my property. It's like beside my house. I have a big parking area out there that I made, and plenty of pit area and everything else for it.
So how does that work? Do you have electrical out there everybody can hook up? Do people have to bring their own tables and chairs? Like, how's that work?
I do have some chairs. I usually go out. I haven't bought them in a couple of years, but I usually buy some chairs for people. But they bring their table. I've got electric. All they got to bring is an extension cord.
Sure.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. And I've been doing this since, my first hobby RC was a Tamiya Wild one when they first came out in 1985.
Nice.
So, and I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, that's great. And that's what happens, and that's what I think is so good with the 1RC, because, this isn't a cheap hobby, especially when you get into 10 skill stuff and when you get really, really competitive. But yet at the 1RC, you can be really, really competitive, and it's really not that expensive to be at that level.
Yeah.
The expenses when you go out and buy 7, 8, 9 car, like every year they come out with a new car. You got to have a new car, right? And then you're replacing some cars, and that's where you get in the mud. But
exactly.
Even still, though, you can have 5, 6 cars, and you're really not that deep in.
No, you're not.
You're not. So, and I'm sure you see the same thing, every time somebody jumps in one of these cars, they're like, they can't believe how much it is like a real race car, and the way they respond to spring changes and respond to different things. So it's
for sure. And I just I got hooked on them because I always did enjoy the smaller cars and the smaller scales. After getting in deep with some of my off-roading cars and my bigger cars and spending a fortune on them, that I did travel a lot when I was really heavy into doing those. I was traveling all over the place. Wow. So yeah.
And there's fun to that, but at some point, sometimes it just has to go off on the side. Life happens, and other responsibilities hit, and that's why the 1RC cars are perfect. They just fill the lane, right? You get more than your fill of RC racing. It's great competition, and they're just can never talk enough about them. I don't know if you listened to the show a few weeks ago. I actually had them on,
Yes.
And so that was great to really hear the behind the curtain a little bit, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, they're really good guys. So just always want to see them be successful and continue to grow. And I can't even, throw out an idea of what you think the next one will be. I got an idea, but I want to hear yours first.
I don't know, because they seem to be here lately, which I'm so happy they did, but they seem to go off to the asphalt side of things, which fits right into my wheelhouse. And
Right,
with
same
with
here.
with what I've gotten here and what I've done, and they just answered all my questions that I had about them. It was just like, because we were running sprint cars and we were putting the EDM tires on the sprint cars and running those, the fat front tires,
Sure.
the smaller fat front tires on them. So,
Yeah.
and they did really well. So.
Yeah, I know different people around the country have been trying different tire combinations, which is cool. You know, I mean, it's good that the car stays pure of the tires that were designed for them. But hey, you know, that's what racing's about. And again, the tires aren't expensive, so if you go out and do a little testing, and so what? It didn't work. It didn't work. What's that, $20 or
right,
$20 or something? It's not.
Yeah,
it's not like dirt tires.
Yeah.
All right. And I have no inside information. Those guys, I told them on the show, and you probably remember, I said, I'll never play poker against you guys because they don't give up anything.
Right.
So I'm never going to play poker with them. But let's just have fun. We're just two guys talking RC. So what do you think it'll be?
The next one?
I got a wild idea. It's got to do with pavement, though. But I'll let you go first.
What? They've covered so much already, though. They really have. I mean, now they've come out with that super modified too. So
right. That one threw me for a loop. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming either. I have no idea.
All right,
All right, let's hear
it. They got to go a no direction. They went dirt. They went asphalt. Where else? There's nothing else in between. Drag racing. They could start coming out with drag cars, and they could do funny cars. And I don't really know all the drag RC lingo. Regular like funny car stuff, and really build it off the same chassis.
Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, that's funny because when I had my CNC stuff all set up, I designed a little 1/18 scale dragster, and I was going to run it on RCP track, two RCP tracks, 2 lanes.
Mm-hmm.
That would
be fun. And think of it. I mean, let's talk about that for a second. You got some pretty prominent drag RC around the country. We're here in Wisconsin. We got Great Lakes Dragway. Scotty Ernst built a beautiful track there. It's got the lights, it's got the tree, it's got PA system, all that. You got two avenues there. If they were to go 1RC drag race cars, it would be a great introduction to people because RC drag racing is not a cheap hobby.
No,
they get into the thousands.
Yeah.
If you could block off a little bit of time, and you got guys that come with $300 drag cars that are going to be quicker than people realize they're going to. You put a 10V.
Oh, yeah.
You put a 10V on a paved track that's got some tire traction at the start finish line. There's going to be some people going, what is that?
Yeah.
It's going a lot faster than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So a great introduction to the hobby, but they're small enough. You could run 4-lane. You could take you could take the Great Lakes track that's just a regular 2-lane RC drag race strip. You could go 4-lane.
Yeah.
With the 1RC cars.
Oh, for sure.
I think it'd be cool. Like I said, if they come out with them, I knew nothing. I have no clue what the next ones will be.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it out of them. I was trying a little bit, but I couldn't get it out of them.
Yeah.
But I'd get one. I definitely get
Oh
one.
yeah, yeah. I would my whole thing about getting them, because when I was with the one I designed, I was actually going to do a 124th, because you can get all the bodies and everything for
Mm-hmm.
model cars or whatever, and I was
Yeah.
going to do those, but I never went all the way with it.
Mm-hmm.
And my thinking was, I don't know how I'm going to keep these things straight if they start going fast, being that small.
Right, right. Well, you just gotta do the same things that the 10 scale guys do and the 8 scale guys do.
Yeah,
Just gotta figure it out.
yeah,
Yeah. The only other direction I think they could go is drifting, because that's getting like really popular. There's a drift track that's not too far from me, Twisted Lanes. And I'm gonna bring some 1RC cars up there, and if I can't, I tried to drift with those guys one night. I was horrible at it. I mean,
it's
they were very kind and said, "Oh, you're really picking it up." I'm like, "What car are you watching? Because it ain't mine." But yeah, I'll hand it over to some of the experts and say, "Here, can you make this thing drift?" That would be fun to see.
yeah. You may be onto something there too.
Yeah.
There's different avenues for them to go.
I'm putting my money down on drag racing. 1RC drag racing.
I'd be all in.
Yeah, I would actually do it too. We've done a few shows with some drag racers. I got a couple of drag racers that are going to come and do some oval and race at my Foam Nationals race. And yeah, so hey, I gotta go out then. And if there were a 1RC drag car, I'd have to buy it and go out and do some drag racing with my friends. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's definitely something that, because there's not one car in that either. There's the dragsters, there's Pro Stock, Funny Car. You could do the street cars. It's all bodies, different things you could do with them.
Absolutely. How fun would it be to do wraps for those? How fun would it be to do paint on those?
Yeah,
That would be half the fun.
yeah.
Nice,
That's half the fun of doing these cars anyway.
You got it. You got it. And the fun part with it too is that there's some cars I've done wraps on 3 years ago and everything's still fine. The car is good. The wrap is good. So, it's not a cheap date to do a wrap, let's just be honest with it. And they come out stunning.
Yeah,
You buy a wrap from Carpies. It's like, they're just amazing. Evan,
yeah,
everybody there is amazing what they come up with. But that's what's nice with these cars, because you got bigger cars and you throw a wrap on it, and sometimes after one day, if you're lucky, 3 days, and they're starting to look a little rough. But with the 1RC cars, like I said, probably the same for you. I've had wraps on some cars for multiple years. Really, what happens is you just get bored and you want to do it again. It was so much fun to order and then get it, and then it applies. A Carpy's wrap goes on so nice, like butter, that that you just it's a fun experience. So you want to do it again and you want to do it again. So you just buy you buy an unpainted car and you do it again. Not because you need it, just because you want.
You want something different, yeah.
Yeah. You just want something different,
My wrap on my 1RC, the late model, it's done. I have to get another one. Either I don't know if I'm going to change it or just keep it the same, but it's pretty much done.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they have their seasons. They have their seasons, but I think you get a lot of value. One, the like a Carpy's wrap is that the mill of the vinyl is just, it takes a beating just that alone. But yeah, when it's time, to do a new one. And yeah, you'll have to send me a picture of that. Send me a picture of your car. I'll post it up on
it's actually on the track website a lot.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And that's what usually when I do a show like this, that's what I do. I go out to that Facebook page, or website, and I pulled down some pictures, and they'll be showing while we're chatting.
Yeah, Carpy's actually put it up on their site.
Nice.
For when I first did it, because it was probably not long after the Asphalt late model came out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Trey. Well, tell the people where they can find you. They're going to see this track. They're going to hear what we're talking about. We're going to get them all fired up, and then they're going to go, how do I get there, and when do they race?
Okay, the Facebook page, Midshore Raceway, it has our schedule posted, and we are in Denton, Maryland, and I can even give you the address if it's 2510 in Denton, Maryland, 21629. And all that information is on the Facebook page as well as my phone. Our schedule is on there. We had to do a little revamping because I had some conflicts in what I had going on, but the redone schedule is up.
Perfect.
Come on out anytime. Anybody.
I was going to say, if anybody's flying there, where would they fly into? What's the closest major city?
Baltimore Washington International Airport.
Okay.
That's probably an hour and a half away.
Okay. That's not bad.
So,
that would be doable.
Yep.
All right.
So,
well, hey, Trey, again, I thank you so much for coming on. You got a great track. Again, another track promoter who's got the passion, loves to race, and is putting that passion and focus into the 1RC area of the hobby, and that's always near and dear to our hearts. So thanks for doing that. Thanks for, it sounds like, providing racing, RC racing in the state of Maryland, that other people are not doing. So you're giving it a home, and that's a big commitment, and we just appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate everything you're doing here, spreading the word. That's the main thing, is getting the word out to people and promoting this stuff.
Yep, that's what we love to do. We just love to get it out there. And on that note, we have some big news coming soon, and gosh, it's so hard not to just say, oh, and it's this. I gotta keep it in. But yeah, we got some exciting stuff coming up going into summertime. So we'll be announcing that here pretty soon, in a few weeks, of what our future plan is. But I think everybody will be pretty excited about it. So again, Trey, thank you so much for coming on, taking time to do this. Can't wait to see the next race. Can't wait to see the Losi race. I think that's going to be one heck of a show on that track.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Great. Well, you have a great night, and thank you.
You do the same.
Thank you for listening to the RC Underground Radio Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and tell your fellow racers about the show. Tune in again next week for more RC content.